Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome back to the Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or to sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, a lot of people go off on those automated valuations like Zillow, Zestimate. They try to determine what their home is worth using those. So, how does a home seller really decide how to price their home correctly so it sells for the most money? That's what they want, the most money.
Well, Richard, that's probably the most common answer I get. I want the most money, and they want it to go smoothly and on time. They want certainty about what's going to happen for sure. And pricing is a huge, huge decision for a home seller. I cannot emphasize how important that is. If you price too high and you don't get very many showings, or the process happens really slowly, chances of you netting the most amount of money are not as good as if you price it what I call realistically versus optimistically. And then on the flip side, if you price it too low, what most agents do is they put a house on the market. They have to present all offers. So the first offer that comes in, woohoo, I sold it so fast, so good. Well, how do you know somebody that was going to come along a little bit later wouldn't pay more money?
A lot more money
A
sometimes.
lot more money, especially if you price it too low. So you hear about these instances where, oh, I got 10 offers and it sold in 4 hours. Well, chances are, first of all, it might have been a little bit on the low side. And second of all, the agent really didn't know how to season the market just enough to give all the buyers a chance to throw their hat in the ring so the seller makes the most amount of money. And that's what we do. That's what we specialize in. A lot of people are starting to copy me in the industry, which is okay. I don't mind.
They listen to this show, and this is telling them what to do.
Yeah, but if you price too low, like I had one seller that told me at the closing table that when we went and sat down and talked about pricing, is a little over a year ago, all the other agents that they spoke with were suggesting a price that was more than 50,000 less than my number. And I wasn't suggesting too high of a price. And we ended up getting that. We actually got more than asking price when I sold their home. So it was really interesting to hear that. And that just made me think, well, maybe those agents were just desperate for a sale. And they thought if they suggest a low price, they'll get a closing right away. They really put their needs ahead of their sellers. So for home sellers, you really got to watch out for that. I know a lot of home sellers do their homework. They look on those online estimates to find out if what their home is worth. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're way off. A lot of times, those online guesstimate things don't really know the house. They don't know what makes it special. They don't know about the views, and they certainly don't know about the market demand as much as, say, somebody that's actively selling in the real estate market would know. And of course, if you price it too high and then slowly take the price down, you'll actually net less money. You're better off being out of the gate with a more aggressive number and just letting the buyers make that offer, and letting the buyers bid it. Because at the end of the day, I could sit here and tell you your house is worth X, okay? But it's the buyers that decide what the house is worth. And we use that data. Like when we get multiple offers, I keep them, because when it's time for the appraisal to come around, especially if the home is sold for way over what I consider recent similar sales, I have to be able to substantiate why it sold for more to the appraiser, to encourage them, if the buyer's getting a loan, to make sure that the appraiser agrees that the home is worth not only what this buyer agreed to pay for it, even though it may not match historical sales, it's what the current market wants right now. So you really want to hire a professional to handle this for you. Pricing it just right is the way to go. It may not be its actual what we think it will sell for, but it's a good way to kind of tease all the buyers to come in and make their best offer. This story that I'm showing you right here was a home that I sold in the Powers Corridor. I really felt like the highest price we could have gotten based on historic sales was probably about 525, but they priced very realistically at 495. We had multiple offers, and I ended up getting them $560,000. So they were pretty happy with that. And then if you price too low, you have to be a little worried about it, because whatever your asking price is, there are many buyers that are going to assume that you will accept that. So there will be people that will come in and make a full price offer based on that low number when you were expecting more. Now, this market's not going to be strong forever. You cannot expect a bidding war on every single home. It's just not always going to happen. It depends on the home. It depends on the condition of the home, the pricing on the home, the marketing on the home, and what's available. And so you really want to hire a professional that knows what to do, how to position the home to get you the most amount of money. That is really the best strategy for a home seller. I'll give you an example. So this home that I have up in Monument is, it basically is what I call an 80s time warp. I don't know if you can see the pictures, Richard, but there's no updating. It has the brown sculpted carpet. It has the beige Formica countertops and the old white or beige appliances, or a mix of appliance colors. The bathrooms are not updated. The basement was unfinished, but it was on a beautiful lot with great views up in Monument. And, yes, other homes that are updated would sell for more, but the seller decided to price what I call realistically, not optimistically. And even though it needed work, the woodpeckers had gone to town on the cedar siding, the carpet needed to be replaced. Are you familiar, Richard, with those old wood frame windows that they put in a lot of houses around here?
Boy, I am. And I want to tell you, Barb, I heard about that from you. I looked at that here, and then I started looking into that home because I thought it was a pretty good deal. It turns out it was.
It was a good deal. It's still a good deal. Even the buyer ended up paying $75,000 over asking price, the winning buyer. Right. But you know what? Homes that are updated like that are selling for way more. So they're walking in the door with equity. Even though they have a way to go to update that home, it's okay. Really, real estate is all about location. And this home was on a beautiful lot with views, backs to open space. It has almost 3/4 acre lot. So, they're not going to get hurt with that investment.
And I looked at it on Google Earth. It was awesome. How many people you had an open house? How many people were interested?
We had 175 people at the 1 hour open house.
Wow.
One agent complained. He goes, "This should be an ethical violation to make us all come in 1 hour."
You're so good that you get that kind of result. It should be an ethical violation. I would have been there. I just couldn't make the time.
Yeah, and we got 20 offers, great offers actually, and the seller picked the best one for them. Look at this one. This one's an updated home. It was adorable, cute house off of Montebello, off of North Academy. Actually, the house in the lower, or the building in the lower right corner is a storage shed, but he got tired of looking at the square storage shed, so he was very, very handy. So he built it to look like a Harry Potter house. It had the curved roof line and the pipe coming out the side. So adorable, really adorable. But the whole house was like that. It was totally move-in ready. But we priced that one at the top of similar sales because of its condition. We knew that even though it was priced at the top of the market value, we were still going to get a lot of demand. And we did. It ended up selling for more than $50,000 over asking price. And what about the homes that have not been updated? That's okay as long as you price it right. That is really the key. Pricing mistakes can hurt a home seller, or they can help a home seller an awful lot. I had one last year where we thought we priced it right, Richard, but I got it wrong. Unfortunately, we priced it right in the middle of similar sales, and nobody showed up at the open house. There were very few showings. I'm like, oh my God, we made a mistake. So within a week, I met with the seller. We lowered the price down. a little bit, and right away it sold for over the original asking price. So what that told me is that when the buyers see an asking price, they are expecting to pay more than that if they're facing competition, especially in the fours or below. They're definitely looking to pay more than that. So if you priced at the top of what it would sell for, buyers don't want to see it because they're afraid they're going to have to pay another 25, 30,000 more for it. It's like reverse psychology right now. It's kind of crazy. It's hard to convince a home seller to embrace it, but it does work very, very well. And it's all about hiring somebody that really understands how to price the home the right way, hiring an expert, not an appraiser, not an agent that has very limited sales, not an agent with limited experience. You want to hire somebody that really knows how to get you the most amount of money. That is the person that you should be hiring. And what it takes is a careful evaluation of similar recent sales, comparing apples to apples, and the current competition. So that's how we do it. And if you're thinking of moving, give us a call at 719-301-3900. Richard?
Well, so this is the favorite part. You're listening to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, your home sold guaranteed realty. Call Barb, 719-301-3900. Barb, time for the lightning round of some of your hot new listings. Hit it.
Here we go. All right. 6650 Delmonico Drive, adorable condo in the 80919 zip code, District 20 school, priced at $235. A beautiful home on 5 acres up on 463 Bear Creek Drive in Florissant, priced in the mid 400s, lots of garage space, great views. Fabulous custom home in Cathedral Pines on 5545 Vesey Road, priced under $2 million. This thing has an 8-car garage, backs to open space with views, a gorgeous custom home down in Pueblo West on Siesta Way. And we have another one on Vesey actually at 1.69 million right next door that backs to open space. And we have a few coming soon. We have one coming up in the upper 300s on North Shelton Road. Really, really well cared for home. We also have one coming up in Old Colorado City on West Platte. We have a fabulous one on Kodiak Drive that backs to the schools, and many more coming. So if you want to know about all of our coming soon homes, visit barbhasthebuyers.com or call us at 719-301-3900. Richard?
You've been listening to The Real Estate Voice. It airs every Saturday. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Also, you can see replays of the show on Barb's YouTube channel, Barb Schlinker, Schlinker, or go ahead and listen to the podcast on all of the popular podcast platforms, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and many, many others. Thanks for listening. And to reach out to Barb, call 719-301-3900. Barb, thanks for everyone listening, and you have a great week.